Good afternoon, this is Rich Nelson with Allendale, covering the wrap-up commodity comments. Today is Thursday, March 15th of 2012 here. So as far as outside markets, we did, of course, see a little support from the lower U.S. dollar, down about 43 points. That had a mixed effect as far as commodities. Gold was up 17. Crude oil down 14. Biggest issue again here is this the simple relentless uptrend that's going on in many of these grain contracts right now. Corn up 10.5 cents here today as far as its settlement. Keep in mind, this now puts May corn at its highest level since November 9. Highest close since November 9 for the May corn contract. Soybeans up 18 3/4, yet again new highs here for its uptrend for the May soybean contract. This is now the highest close since September 16th. So this is another relentless move as far as that goes. And wheat finishing up very strong today, up a surprising 21 cents. So some of this you can argue is money flow, more or less interest in commodities, those type of issues here. But there's also some other reasons on the fundamental side which we can point to. As far as corn, export sales were within estimates here for this morning. Keep in mind, every Thursday morning, USDA puts out export sales, and these are reported sales from the previous week. So as far as export sales, we now have 5 solid weeks of, it looks like corn getting back on track, back to what used to be normal levels for us at this time of year. And now this will help traders readjust their balance sheet numbers. Instead of expecting exports to probably run 25 million bushels over USDA's latest estimate, maybe will be as much as 50 million bushels over USDA's latest estimate here. So some changing expectations, maybe some analysts out there tightening down their ending stock numbers. As far as the soybeans, we can certainly say that today's soybean number was a very strong number, and certainly again a barn buster as far as the size of it. For the old crop soybean portion of the sales, old crop soybeans, for that particular week of sales, this is the largest single number in 7 years. For new crop soybeans, this is the largest sale for that particular week ever. So certainly we are seeing a lot of interest in soybeans as far as these export sales. This is now 5 weeks in a row of above normal exports. Allendale currently is running a 25 million bushel higher export estimate than USDA. And you know what, maybe if this continues for another couple weeks, we may actually consider raising that again here. As far as wheat, you know what, there's not a whole lot of news backing up why wheat was so strong here today. One thing we can point out is this morning's export sales report did show another cargo purchase of U.S. wheat to Iran, of all things here. So maybe that might have acted as a little bit of support. Throughout the trading session, other news, Egypt bought a cargo of U.S. wheat and also a cargo of Canadian wheat. And in fact, a little bit later on in the trading session, Iraq confirmed that they had bought 300,000 tons of all Canadian wheat. So actually there was not a single one good story supporting this from a fundamental standpoint on the wheat side here. Over on cattle, down $1.45 here today for the April contract. Certainly a rough type of move here for this cattle. Looks like as we approach towards the latter end of this week, we are seeing that packers are being very serious about trying to hold down this cash cattle cost and may not pay up as people were thinking early in the week here. And you know what? There's really not a good reason for the pay up. When you look at wholesale beef prices from Monday through today's midday report, choice down $3.33, select down $4.47. So, you know what, if anything for cash cattle, at best you should expect steady, but don't be surprised if we see some lower trades show up. Maybe later this afternoon or more likely into tomorrow. Over on the hog side, down 47 cents for the April contract. But you could probably argue it's more in sympathy with today's cattle move than any brand new news as far as hogs. And one thing we've talked about here in many of these comments here, the fact that hogs typically have about a 2 to 3 week lower trend here, a small little dip. So expect that maybe lasting into the first week of April here. But obviously the biggest thing the trade's looking at right now, and certainly Allendale is looking at, is the results of our 23rd annual producer survey of acreage. So this will be coming out. We will release these numbers here Friday morning at 7:30. So this would be very exciting. This would be very well anticipated by the trade. And keep in mind, the reason why I hammer this so much is most of these acreage estimates that you see out from various firms, these are mostly guesses. More or less a guy working with a sheet of paper, writing out some ideas here. This is one of the very few producer-driven surveys as far as nationwide surveys. Requires a lot of manpower and a lot of hard work crunching the numbers, and we certainly feel that the hard work is certainly worth it and beneficial to your time. So that's why we certainly feel that our acreage survey itself and the results are well worth your time, and we certainly appreciate all the producers who helped us out with that. So keep in mind that's out here tomorrow morning at 7:30. If you don't get the numbers, they'll be posted on our website, and you can certainly give us a call here at Allendale and talk about them and discuss them with your broker. 1-800-262-7538. Have a good day and a good weekend.